So how does a turbocharger function within your engine? Let's go over some of the basic principles of a turbocharger, its components, and how it works. So this is what they call the turbine housing. It's going to bolt to your exhaust manifold. There's a wheel in here called the turbine wheel that spins based on the amount of exhaust coming out of your engine. When it spins, it's connected to a shaft that runs through the center housing of the turbocharger. The center housing has got your bearings and your seals. It's also got an oil feed and an oil drain, as well as some turbochargers are going to have coolant running through them to keep that center section cool. On the other side, this is where the money's at. This is going to be your compressor housing and your compressor wheel. This is the side that's going to actually take the fresh air, compress it, and introduce it into your cylinder head and help your engine run as good as it possibly can. So here we got two different turbochargers, two different styles of turbochargers that are commonly used on diesel engines. They're very similar except for one difference on the two turbos. This particular turbo has got what they call a wastegate actuator. This particular turbo does not have that wastegate actuator. The wastegate actuator performs a function of allowing you to have quick spool up on the low end without overspeeding your turbo on the high end. It also regulates boost pressure to a reasonable preset level. The basic components of the turbocharger, other than that, are going to be the same. So we've got a turbine housing that hooks to the exhaust manifold with a turbine wheel that is spun by exhaust gases. The more exhaust gas you have, the faster the turbine wheel spins. The shaft runs through the center housing of the turbocharger that will have oil feed and oil drain lines on it. It may also have coolant lines on them to keep that center housing cool. The center housing also contains your bearings and seals, oil seals, and the bearings for the shaft that runs through the center. On the compressor side, you've got your compressor housing as well as a compressor wheel. The function of the compressor wheel is to take your incoming air, fresh air from your air cleaner, compress it, and allow it to get into the engine, giving you better efficiency and better fuel economy and better power. So here at Highway and Heavy Parts, we've got all kinds of turbos. We've got new turbos, we've got reman turbos, we've got turbos to fit your needs. The OEM hasn't made their own turbos in many years and relies heavily on suppliers to make those turbos for them. Oftentimes we're getting turbos from the very same suppliers that supply to the OEM for 30 to 50% off retail pricing. When you go to the OEM, a lot of times they're going to give you a remanufactured turbo. We like the fact that in a lot of cases that we've got brand new turbos for you, so you don't have to return cores, and it just makes it a lot simpler. So if you need a turbo, we've got what you need. Give us a shout, 844-447-1453, or you can go on our website and use the online quoting tool. We'd be glad to give you a quote at www.highwayandheavyparts.com. From diagnosis through delivery, we're Highway and Heavy Parts.